Okay, so we're going to take a break from the etiquette course and the rental and the real estate. And, this trip, some peculiar things happened on this trip. And although I was disappointed, I stopped and I self-reflected. And when you self-reflect, you learn something deeper about yourself than you knew before. And you transcend to a place where you grow. So I often meditate, as you know, but also I read mindful poetry. And sometimes there's meditation instructors who actually read the poetry they've written as a meditation, and it's extremely going deep within who you are. For me, it works. It quiets, relieves stress, but it also gives you answers that you search for. And on this trip, strange events unexpectedly happened. Mainly, things fell apart on the real estate side, starting with the agent just simply not showing up. So out of disappointment, we can't go there because things happen to us for reasons. And I stopped and did my mindful poetry and self-reflected. And I want to read you something. So wherever you are, put your feet up, sit back, close your eyes. You don't need to watch me. I'm going to read you something. And it will awaken you to knowingly. It'll make you think about things. This poetry I did not write. This is called When Things Fall Apart, and it's an excerpt by, her name is Pema Chodron. She is an American ordained Tibetan Buddhist nun. And listen to this poetry. We think that if we just meditate enough, or jogged enough, or ate perfect food, everything would be perfect. But from the point of view of someone who is awake, that's death. Seeking security or perfection, rejoicing in feeling confirmed and whole, self-contained and comfortable, is some kind of death. It doesn't have any fresh air. There's no room for something to come in and interrupt all of that. We are killing the moment by controlling our experience. Doing this is setting ourselves up for failure, because sooner or later we're going to have an experience we can't control. Our house is going to burn down. Someone we love is going to die. We're going to find out we have cancer. A brick is going to fall out of the sky and hit us on the head. Somebody's going to spill tomato juice all over our white suit. Or we're going to arrive at our favorite restaurant and discover no one ordered produce and 700 people are coming for lunch. The essence of life is that it's challenging. Sometimes it is sweet and sometimes it is bitter. Sometimes your body tenses and sometimes it relaxes and opens. Sometimes you have a headache and sometimes you feel 100% healthy. From an awakened perspective, trying to tie up all the loose ends and finally getting it together is death, because it involves rejecting a lot of your basic experience. There is something aggressive about that approach to life, trying to flatten out all the rough spots and imperfections into a nice, smooth ride. To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to always be in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. To live is to be willing to die over and over again. From the awakened point of view, that's life. The way to dissolve our resistance is to meet in life, is to meet it face to face. When we feel resentment because the room is too cold, we could meet the heat, it's too hot. We can meet the heat and feel its feariness and its heaviness. When we feel resentment because the room is too cold, we could meet the cold and feel its iciness and its bite. When we want to complain about the rain, we could feel its wetness instead. When we worry about the wind is shaking our windows, we could meet the wind and hear its sound. Cutting our experience for a cure is a gift we can give ourselves. There is no cure for hot and cold. They will go on forever. After we die, the ebb and flow will still continue. Like the tides of the sea, like day and night. This is the nature of things. So that, once again, I'm going to tell you who it is. When Things Fall Apart, an excerpt by Pema Chodron. That poem, if you listen to that again and again, you will really start thinking about things, because when everything fell apart on this trip, I knew there are bigger plans. There are much bigger plans. And if you were live with me on the beach and me trying to explain this very in a deep place of going internally to reflect on this was difficult for me to express that day, but I'm expressing it here for you now. When things fall apart, you have to look at the beauty of things falling apart, because there's something bigger in it for you, and there's a better plan. And I always say dream big, because we don't know we can live that dream, but the beauty is what we can live is something bigger than we ever imagined.